Hey all, Binks here to break down one of the most fun decks I've built in a really long time. This is Kang Virus. Combines a lot of different aspects together, but the deck just runs so smooth. It's really built around the fact that Techno-Organic Virus, now being a 2-cost, but not increasing in cost, allows you to use Quinjet to make it a 1-cost after the first time that you play it, to get a lot of additional value on the cards that you play down. And then we really wanted to try and utilize Quinjet in a couple of cool different ways. We really found this like Loki, King, Eitri, Kang combination to be great. So Loki, you can just at any point swap to your opponent's deck if you're looking for something that they have, or maybe you don't have really good draws still ahead. You can go into Loki, and then you can get additional draws with the King Eitri, or King Eitri can just fetch a Kang out of your deck, so you can just use it as some draw. Kang, super interesting card, works with Quinjet, so it's going to go down to 2 cost, and you're just going to go 4 different Kangs into your deck with random abilities that cost 3 or more. You get some crazy cards like Foom or Iron Man, and then you get some real stinkers like Goblins and stuff like that. But it's all going to be kind of like misdirection, and your opponent not knowing how much power you can drop down is really where the strength of this deck comes from. For the rest of the cards, we have Iron Patriot and Agent Coulson here, just ways to generate some value and to be able to utilize that Quinjet even further. And then for the rest of the cards, we have Kraglin in here, who is super underrated. This card can go in like any deck. Like, it's just a 3/9 a lot of the time. People play Wilson Fist to just be a 3/9 as well. Really strong. Then every once in a while, you'll randomly just get a double Psylocke trigger on your 3/5. Crazy powerful card. This was released as a 3/3 all the way up at 3/5. Much stronger now. So definitely try and utilize this in decks if you've kind of like not worried about it ever since it came out, because it was really bad in its early state. This card can go in pretty much anything right now, and it's really strong. It's going to make sure that we can get the Wilson Fisk online. Utilizing the new Crystal as well to either just get more card draw if we get like a good setup with our Quinjet, or after Loki, getting their discounted cards to just push more and more cards out into the field. And then Gambit is just great in this. The Kangs will set it up. All the cards that you add in will set it up. And just getting like a little Gambit Horseman of Death to try and close out the game or sneak some stuff off, because sometimes you can actually play this quite early, is really good. And then to finish out the deck, we have Juggernaut as just a way to clinch out games after we've like pushed out ahead really hard with our, Virus, getting their cards, getting discounted cards, just trying to clinch out a lane with Juggernaut and winning things out. Like I said, this deck just runs smooth as butter. There's a lot of thinking. Every game feels completely different, which I absolutely love. And I tell you what, the final cubes, very nice. With 29 and 17 and gained 69 cubes with this deck. The cube efficiency is so good because your opponent never knows what you're going to be able to drop on the final turn. You have a discounted Iron Patriot card. You have 2 Kangs in your hand. You Loki'd and you have one of their cards. They have no idea what to play against. So it's very hard to like choose whether to run or stay. And you can use that to your advantage if you're smart and running at a good time and really pushing into those games where you get some broken combos. Super broken. Great deck. And I can't wait to see you play it on ladder. As always, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to hit the like button. Check down below. Make sure you subscribe. Catch you live at twitch.tv/Binks_plays. Enjoy. You piece. Satirical, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Best of luck to you on this field of battle. Kang on Clintar on turn 3 is really good. I almost want to snap. I'm going to snap. Kang on Clintar is crazy, because this will keep all the ongoing power and just turn it into a thing. Now, they could Shadow King it at some point, but we'll deal with that when it happens. But this is a really strong start here. We get a Loki their deck. We become their deck, but better. We can no longer Kang left. Son of a gun. It's still good, for the record. It's just quite a bit worse. We'll get our TVO down. TVO, interestingly, quite good to just play out now. It used to not be a very good to just play out, but it now is. Is there any universe where we like find a route to land this here? We would have to find a card that's small enough, but there might be a chance. This does hurt our Kang, but that's fine. Don't worry about all that. We did not find a card small enough. That's a bit frustrating, but not the biggest deal in the whole world. What is our play now then? Probably want to just win Starbrand, I would say. Bit unfortunate we can't land that in Clintar. So we probably just want to take Starbrand. I think that's probably a good play for us. This also gets Fisk online if they don't Virus right. Probably worthwhile. Opponent goes with Iron Patriot left. We see the Rhino come down middle and a Hydration Robert. Luckily, this still will keep Fisk online. It only gives it a 1-cost discount in this case, but not too bad, not too big of a deal. We do have Shadow King for left, which is really, really strong. We're actually in a really, really good position here, I would say. We can go with Shadow King left, our own Iron Patriot left as well. Ooh, maybe we just want to go into some Techno-Organic Virus, because this will, wait, this will jump middle. How much do we want to think about TVO? We can get 2 triggers of it. It's probably not super worthwhile. We'll just go Shadow King left, Fisk left, Iron Patriot left. The Shadow King will move middle, and then we can finish up with the Techno-Organic Virus on the final turn, and we get some extra value here from the Iron Patriot. We could find a card that's worthwhile to use. But very, very unlikely for them to be able to beat us in the left lane because of the Shadow King. Really, really nice top deck there. And then we're just kind of winning all lanes. I mean, they could play down an Ozymandias at some point, and maybe that's a little bit scary, but I still think we're just in a wonderful position to stay ahead. We can use this Techno-Organic Virus to keep, like, our Darkhawk from landing middle. Darkhawk's still going to end up being a 3-8, which is decent, unless they have some other way to draw cards. This deck could run Loki as well, so they could Loki at the end, which would absolutely, like, soul crush them, which is pretty cool. But, yeah, we're just so far ahead in every lane. I'm going to guess this is a Scani, right? Or, I'm going to guess this is Ozzy, right? With the Super Giant. Bit annoying, but honestly, still, I think, completely fine. So, a few different play lines we can go down here. We find an Anakin Son of our own. The Thing First Step's not very good here because it won't actually trigger. So, it just kind of would be playing it as a 4-6. Not really what we'd want to do. I think that we just go pretty hard for right, or maybe we want to go like here, here, here is our play line. We're going to be adding 9 power middle. That would lose to them playing the 5-drop here, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. We're adding a lot of power right. We don't have any rocks to worry about. I quite like this play. I think that we lock in. Very interesting. Okay, they get a Captain America middle. Not super threatening. We get our own mother. We get our Kang. Gets us ahead in every lane by a pretty good amount. Be interesting to see what they have here to fight off against it. A Debris. And then a Cosmo. Yeah, not nearly enough. Very, very well played there. I think that we played that top to bottom really well. We were trying to find ways to get Clintar active with Kang. We didn't get it. So then we just decided to find a sideline that would be good either way. Getting that Shadow King was super, super important to mess with their symbiote. Really, really good game. GG, Satirical. But welcome to the stream, but I want to become your deck but better, so let's go ahead and do that. I believe that they are on Agamotto, and that is a confirmation that they are indeed on Agamotto. We got a 3-4 new Shang. It literally does absolutely nothing, but we are their deck but better now, except we don't have the cool spells that they have access to. Okay, one thing to think about is that left lane, we kind of want to avoid as much as possible because the Winds of Watum into Fist Tower is -9, which is surprisingly a pretty good play. Okay, now they're my deck, but better. Look at that. Look at that. We traded decks. What a world we live in. I like trading decks with my opponents. Yes, I do. I like trading decks with my opponents. How about you? Oh my gosh. Unlimited Techno-Organic Virus just unlocked. All right. Well, we're now going to try and play as many viruses as we possibly can forever. Wait, what? Oh, it's lower. Wait, what? Wait, this is wrong, right? Capital C cost is supposed to be the baseline cost. I think that's written incorrectly. We want to get this Quinjet online. And then we'll get one of these going. This is crazy lane. I wish we didn't draw Quinjet. Quinjet's actually not that great here. But it will be Techno-Organic Virus Fuel pretty soon. So that is okay. They're going to Loki again. They're running it back. They're running it back. They're making many Kraglins. That is a lot of Kraglins. I'm not going to sit here and say that you don't have a lot of Kraglins. I need to start playing stuff left so I can get Orcus Forge. We want to go here, 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 here. I think. Seems right. That is a lot of Kraglins. I'm not going to lie. I actually don't know if we can win right, so maybe playing the debris over on the right is incorrect, but we're going to do it anyway. Order. What was wrong with the order? I don't think the order is wrong. Oh, we got a debris first and then do this. Yeah. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. When I am bad. Sometimes I am bad, and it is not a very fun thing to do. And then sometimes chat helps me, and usually chat doesn't help me nearly as much here in YouTube mode, but it's okay. We got a little buff here today. That's a-okay. So we're gonna get to +5. We're gonna get to +4. We'll get to +6. I don't know if we're gonna have enough to win right. It's gonna be a little bit peculiar, but we will see. All right, what the hell was this card? Oh yeah, it was Shang-Chi. That's right. I was like, what do you do? What's your thing? What is your thing that you're doing? We find a Kraglin of our own. You absolute fool. You absolute fool. Hit with your own freaking Kraglin. Except I don't think that's gonna work. I don't believe that is enough. So we're just gonna do this and hope that it is. And it should be. We're getting like +5 on all these cards, so it'll be 15 + 9 that we're adding. We're adding 24 left. 28. Could be enough. Really depends. Really depends on what they end up doing here. We will see. We will see indeed. That didn't hit the virus. Yeah, it's probably... Wait, well, this was going to be the other play that we were going to make, and I didn't know if it was going to work. So I guess we'll find out. We get +6. We're going to tie, right? We're going to win the game. Nice Juggernaut. Nice Juggernaut, buddy. You absolute fool. You absolute fool, but your Juggernaut went against you. You absolute fool. Yes! GG's, butts. Nice freaking Juggernaut, dude. Fatal Omen, welcome to the stream. Welcome. We got Loki rocking. Yes, we do. We're going to need some move cards, probably, to beat my opponent who's going to be using move cards, it would appear. 3 cost Iska. That is a good card. I'm going to play that on the left. I think that's probably might have already won me the game, which is pretty cool. Or at least made the game very hard for my opponent to win. You cheater! You freaking cheater! They perfectly played around my Iska. How dare you? Okay, so now we have to figure out what on earth we do. I guess we get the bishop down. Makes the most sense. Then we go into Venus something. We could probably just immediately go into Venus Gambit. Venus Gambit makes some sense. Probably actually want to get the Maverick down, huh? I don't know how impactful the Maverick will be. It's probably worthwhile to get it down, I would imagine. Probably worthwhile to get it down, I would imagine. Is there a world where we try and, like, get Coulson online middle? Maybe we don't want the Gambit. We want the Gambit to go at the end to mess with the Iska timing. We definitely want that. So now... that's our thought process. So Venus will be +3, then we'll get 2 and 2. Maybe we do want to set it up so that Gambit could win middle, potentially. Or that Coulson can win middle, potentially. I actually quite like this, so let's go ahead and do it. And then we still get the Starbrand Crater, which is an important part of this. Oh, yeah. So this is just setting up our hand to be able to take care of this. We also got a Cosmic Ghost Rider, which might be just very worth it. See an Iron Fist? And an Aranya on a Spider-Punk. Gonna be doing a little Jimmy left and right. And then what the heck happens after that? I don't know. That's a little bit scary. We're probably just gonna have to figure out how to win middle? Maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe we just go Gambit Coulson. Gambit Coulson could work, should work, might work, potentially will work. I think we give it a try. I quite like this. Gambit going after the Iska is pretty important. It could just hit the dang old Spider-Punk. I don't know if they're going to play Spider-Punk middle. They don't, but they're probably going to Iron Fist something middle that'll win. Maverick not big enough. Did they not notice that our did they not notice our Coulson play we were setting up? I don't think they noticed our Coulson play we were setting up. Wow, that's awesome, man. Oh yeah. Very well played there. We just casserole the crap out of them before the gambit comes and just wins us even more. Wow, really good game. Yeah, kind of just a miss on why we did the Coulson middle. I think that was just a pretty big miss from our opponent as to why we actually played that Coulson middle. Either way, that early Iska just caused massive problems for our opponent. Really, really good game there. GG's, Fatal Omen. Atuma! That's not that big of a deal. Enderstorm, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Best of luck to you here on the field of battle. We got a Atuma Kang that got pulled out, and they lost a Mystique, which is rather bad. We're going to be able to virus the crap out of everything. We're going to get 2 Wilson Fists next turn. I feel like we are probably in a position where we can, like, snap right freaking now. Like, losing the Mystique just feels so bad, right? We get a double Fisk. We can go into, like, double Kraglin afterwards. It just kind of goes crazy. Kraglin can even land right and give us even more value. And then we can get 2 more Organic Viruses in hand on the final turn. Like, I feel like we're just in a great spot. This might be negative. Like, Mr. Negative can still beat us up for sure, but maybe with Kangs we can find a way to get out of that. I don't know. Let's just double Crag and call it a day. Just burn our whole deck, man. And then we'll figure it out. Maybe Coulson can get us out of something. Who knows, bro? So they're probably playing... Well, they're not playing negative here unless they're playing at middle like a crazy person. But they're probably on that... There's like a deck that runs like Iron Man and... Gore and stuff, but man, Juggernaut is just gonna ruin their life, isn't it? So I think I do want 2 Techno-Organic Viruses. The problem is that every card that I have kind of like just loses cards, which is every card I have makes more cards is the thing. Will we need more Techno-Organic Viruses? Maybe it doesn't matter. Is there a chance that it doesn't matter? I guess we could just use the Mr. F. We might not need more. I kind of want more Techno-Organic Viruses. Let's do this. This is fine. And then we'll see what they end up doing here. I think the Juggernaut Techno-Organic Virus is probably going to be our next play. It seems very, very hard to have them beat that. Maybe they can. That would suck, but I gotta imagine we'll be in a pretty good spot. And they're probably trying to set up some kind of... Well, they can't do a Mystique stuff, huh? They can't really do Mystique stuff is the thing. But I think we just Juggernaut and then we play a Techno-Organic Virus on the right and hope the Juggernaut lands right. Should put us in a position to win. Might be tough depending on what their cards are that they're ending up getting down. Like, they can play like Iron Man and Gore this turn. So maybe if they split into the wrong lanes, we find ourselves in some trouble. But I think the Juggernaut hopefully just clears this up, not allowing them to get multiple versions of it. And we see they split, so splitting might be bad. Depends. Really does depend on how bad the splitting is. They get Iron Man left, which is not going to be enough to win, and they're going to get Gore over on the right, and that's going to get them the W. Wow, GG's. Yeah, the Juggernaut coming in super, super clutch. Able to just close out the game really well. Look at our crazy board, man. Our board looks insane. Well played to our opponent. GG's. I'm Solo. Got me working on the dance floor. Best of luck to you, Solo. Here on the field of battle. We're going to become your deck, but better. How do you feel about that? Probably not super strongly. They're going to become our deck, but better. There's been so much Loki today. It's pretty exciting, man. There's been so much Loki today. It's Loki all over the place, man. Loki all the way down. We'll go in and get a Techno-Organic Virus this turn. We could get the Gambit down, but I think I like the Techno-Organic Virus a little bit better. Giving them a 2/7 Gambit. Kind of really bad. Kind of really bad as it turns out. Not super ideal by any stretch of the imagination. Interestingly, like Captain America, kind of good as like a finisher card. I don't know what to do this turn. I simply don't know what to do. I guess we just get the Gambit down, try and get the first Gambit on the field so that our Gambit could kill their Gambit. Potentially. I want to place down a Coulson as well as an Iron Patriot. Very scary indeed. We'll get our Gambit live. We can play a Juggernaut and a Techno-Organic Virus. Seems like a nice use of our resources. And then we're going to kill a bunch of their cards. And then, I don't know, we'll figure it out from there. We'll figure it out from there indeed. We do have 2 Techno-Organic Viruses now. Kind of nice to get the Gambit trigger immediately. Because it'll help us with a few different things. Maybe we killed their Gambit with our Gambit. That would be ideal. That would be ideal for us to kill their Gambit with our Gambit, because ours came down first. We do stop the Iron Patriot, which is good. Kill their Gambit. Oh, son of a gun. Taking out the Quinjet's pretty good, though. And we lose the Loki. The Loki's not that big of a deal. On our opponent's side, okay, so we have a Debris down. Debris is actually really, really pleasant here. We can go like Debris, and then we could go Virus, and we can go Virus. And then we'll have, I don't know, a bunch of viruses is the thing. The thing is we'll have a bunch of viruses. We will be... I think we actually want the other one here to get some extra energy just in case next turn. And the Debris will get a little bit of an extra bump from this Josie's. It'll high five nothing, but nothing is enough. We see a Kraglin come down. Kraglin's a dang good card, man. Kraglin is a really good card. It's the thing that I've been learning today. But we have many Techno-Organic Viruses. My opponent has potentially less Techno-Organic Viruses. So that tends to help us out in our favor at the end of the day. And we have, can we play everything? We can play everything. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We want to play here. And then, like, this is 8. How much is these? They're +4? It's actually better to just virus you. I think. I don't know. This might lose. Who knows, man? We're winning right, though, so that's pretty cool. I believe we're going to win. I don't know if there's anything to blink into, brother. I don't think there's anything to blink into in the deck, man. I don't think there's a single thing to blink into in the deck. You love to see it, man. We get the TVO going on the left. Almost win. It was 1 point better. I'm glad that I got a little bit of a breakdown as to how that works. Not too shabby. GG solo. Really good game, man. When you can Loki into their virus and you have your virus, you can just start going buck wild. I tells you what. GG's to our opponent. GG's. Fisk landing left would be really, really nice for us. Do you go after characters? It is characters. So it's going to be a 1 in 3 if they end up getting our Fisk. And honestly, maybe there's a chance that we don't want it to hit our Fisk. Mother fricker, I was kidding. I was kidding is the thing. I was lying. I didn't want it to hit the Fisk. I was just trying to do that to make it seem like I didn't care. If I could be so honest with you. We'll go Kraglin left. Kraglin left seems pretty nice here. And then maybe we get this Gambit somewhat early? I'm not quite sure. We want to ideally... wait, maybe we don't want the Kraglin. Because then next turn we can't go like Kraglin TVO, and I feel like we want to get the TVO online. Let's just go Crystal. Crystal makes sense. And then we'll go Kraglin Ultimate Virus next turn. And then we'll get like some Kang set up. We'll just kind of get a little bit of everything going. It's going to be beautiful. We'll get Kraglin into Techno-Organic Virus. And then what do we do next turn? 411 Juggernaut. That's a pretty darn good card. Negasonic Kang, also Cannot Tell a Lie. Very good card. They're going to get a Hydra Bob left. That's not nearly as impactful as what we have. They see a Cosmo. Okay, good to see that Cosmo. Now we can no longer Juggernaut them. Important thing to note. We get the TVO down there. And then I think it's just Kang Gambit, right? I kind of like just Kang Gambit, right? That'll set them up to be really annoyed for next turn. And it'll clear off some of this detritus. They still haven't used the Awesome Andy. It might clear off the Venus. And it's just going to put them in a pretty bad position in regards to their Aurora. We're going to snap here as well to move their Bob. Because I think them moving their Bob is very not good for them. And then final turn might be just like Juggernaut left with some Techno-Organic Virus funk. I guess we'll kind of see. Really depends on what this Gambit hits, how we end up piecing through this final turn. But I think that, like, maybe we might even go Juggernaut right, just, like, literally not care about the Cosmo. There's always a chance that that's just, like, worthwhile. So we see the Captain America come down. Shield doesn't actually do very much to stop our hits here, and they don't use either their awesome Andy, which is potentially really good for us. Okay, Hydro Bomb takes a massive hit there, but we're probably going to clear up space for him most of the time. Okay, yeah, hit the Hydro Bomb, sure. That's a good one to hit. But yeah, now they're just kind of stuffed, man. Now they're just kind of freaking stuffed. And what on earth do they do to deal with that? So Herbie's going to give them 4 right. Awesome Andy's going to give them 3 right. So we have to wonder, is this Juggernaut going to be enough to hold right? And I think the answer is likely no. But I think that if we Juggernaut left and then go Loki TVO middle, unless this is a cracked card, not particularly, I feel like we'll have enough points to get over the top. Does this lose to Aurora mid? They have they only have activates middle. So Aurora middle. There's an 8-point flip though. So we're only up by 3. We're going to be adding 2 and then 2 and then 2. They'll be adding 8. I'm pretty sure this works, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure this works. Pretty sure we'll lose right, but then we'll win middle by the lightest touch, the lightest little touch. We're gonna tie middle by the lightest little touch, but still win the game. Okay, I didn't think about the Venus hit. My math didn't incorporate the Venus hit on the Aurora, but having 3 activates all middle is quite funny indeed. And we get the W. Very good win there. Played well. Like, thought about the Aurora. Missed the calculation by just a tad, but it was still enough to get the victory. GG's, Dead Poop. GG's. Aklis from Brazil. Hello, Aklis from Brazil. Best of luck to you here on the field of battle. Be not too bad to have the Techno-Organic Virus come down, to be honest with you. Get it cheap. First Kang is a Khonshu, which is kind of a nothing burger. I don't know how Khonshu Kang works if we can manage to discard it. We probably just won't worry about all that. Early Kraglin, nice. Free Monstro for the opponent. Slightly less nice, but, you know, what are you going to do? We hit a Kang. It's so weird that when they banish these Kangs, it doesn't tell you what it does. Because it has an ability in the deck. That's the weird thing about it, because it definitely has an ability in the deck. If they have Monstro, there's a non-zero chance that they have discard cards, but I think we just play the Kang out. I think we can get too in our head about like exactly how to try and utilize this Kang as best as we can, and that's probably not in our best interest. I think we just get this down and just take a 4 power card. Just be okay with that. And then this turn, Vormir. Vormir means they're going to have a hell of a time getting to that. This could be pretty good. I think we just go with Loki and the Techno-Organic Virus left, become their deck but better, and then I don't know, figure it out from there, I suppose. They could have 2 cards to be able to win Vormir and get Punisher active. If they do that, they do it. I'm not going to freak out, you know. I'm not going to lose my dang old mind. I would think about freaking out and think about losing my dang old mind. I don't think that's something that we really have to worry about too terribly much. And then eventually, maybe the next turn, we just use the virus, right? Because we have no cards and we have the energy to probably spend them anyway. Okay, so that indicates that they're also a Techno-Organic Virus deck. We do have a cheap Scar, which is nice. I think that we just do this. Well, actually, we want a virus first, right? To pop the Vormir. And then we can actually steal their Techno-Organic Virus eventually, which is kind of cool. So I think we just go like Techno-Organic Virus, Scar, right? Just put ourselves in a great position. I think we also snap here. I think we're actually inclined to snap. We are turning off the Quinjet, but it's not that big of a deal, I promise. As you can see by the no cards that we have in hand. Nice, opponent retreats, very good. Solid game there. I think that we played kind of exactly how we needed to. Yeah, no notes, man. GG's, Aklis. GG's. Jester, welcome to the stream, Jester. Best of luck to you here on the field of battle. I don't know if we want to get a Kang or use this Loki. I guess maybe we'll have a bit more of a peek into what they are playing. We could also just Anakin's Son left. Anakin's Son left just makes plenty of sense. And then yeah, let's just go ahead and click. Get an Anakin's Son going left. Let's see if they beat our Anakin's Son. That would be a little bit annoying. They probably just play one of their own. If I had to gander. Okay, they play Shadowland Cyrodiil. We have to hope they whiff here, because otherwise we can't play Fisk. Should be a little bit annoying, but not the biggest deal in the world. They do not whiff. Bit unfortunate there. So we probably want to Loki TVO this turn. We could also just play the Kang. Hydration Bob, probably not super important. This would lose us a draw. I think we just go Loki, Techno-Organic Virus, both right. Just take a chill turn, get some access to some other cards. They probably play a Fisk of their own left, which hurts, but we can maybe fight it in the future. They just play Venus. Okay, that's not nearly as scary. Our Anakin Sun is still ticking up. We get another Anakin Sun. Anakin Sun's all the way down, I'm afraid. Another King Eitri. It's pretty darn good for us. Let's put you here. Let's click and then go with the TVO right. It will give us Sacred Timeline, which I don't think matters. Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. I guess I shouldn't be hitting this Eitri with the Techno-Organic Virus. I don't know what we're doing here. We're just playing cards, I'm afraid. We do fill Sacred Timeline, which gives us more Techno-Organic Viruses and more Eitris for that matter. Not that that one matters nearly as much for the record. But because we lost the Techno-Organic Virus to begin with, due to the whole situation. Quite silly, actually, at the end of the day. Let's make sure we get that down. It's a pretty important card for us to get down here. And then do we even want a random one-drop? Could land right, which causes us quite a bit of problems. I didn't even realize I got Human Torch first steps. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, sure. Let's take the Anakin Sun, whatever. More randomness never hurt anybody, I don't think. Pretty sure they've said that somewhere. And then, I don't know, we'll have some boosted cards. We'll figure it out in the future, perchance. I don't know, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just lose in terrible fashion. Don't love the spread, personally. Electra, it does nothing. But we got some TVO value pumping us up. We do take Prio here, which could be important. Not sure how important it would be, but it could be. It could always be important. You never know. And then Debris Right feels pretty good. Debris Right feels pretty good. Feels like that could be a way that we win over there. So if we Debris, then we slot in... it would be Debris Right into like Eitri Virus. Probably our play. And then we just get the Loki left as a treat. How often does this win? I'm not quite sure. Will the rocks ever be impactful? They might be, actually. Filling our board with rocks might matter. For, like, Juggernaut reasons. But let's see what we can do. They play a pretty powerful card. We're winning middle and left. We have 23 points right. That is no joke. And they have to play a card bigger than 8 and beat 23 middle. Strange Supreme, Debris. They do tie middle. Squirrels. The Anakin Sun gives them a Mysterio. They eat up. They gobble them up. They gobble up the beautiful Mysterio. They get the double trigger off the Strange Supreme. And we get a very, very solid win there. Nearly a casserole. We call that a half-baked in the business. GG's, Jester. GG's. Yeah, well played there. Nice finds. Splat! Welcome to the stream. Friend of the show, Splat. Let's see what's in their deck, man. We can just take their whole dang old deck with Loki. How amazing. I remember Splat might be on some weird Submariner deck, or Submariner. I've been getting yelled at back and forth as to what it is, but apparently they've been kind of vibing on that. But now we'll just be able to figure it out, because we're their deck, but better. And they have Quinjet in their deck, which is very good, because if we draw that, then we get to double discount all of our cards. All right, let's just Loki again. What if we just Loki'd again? Have we thought about this? Have we thought about the fact that we could just keep playing Loki? Not too shabby. They either got Kraglin or Magento Kang, both of which are pretty good cards. Can't argue against that. Me when the bridge is rickety. We have Juggernaut for that at the end of the game, which is really good. I think we just take our Kraglin. Try and play a bit energy efficient here. And then after that, I don't know. We want to make sure that Rickety Bridge is always cleared so that we have the chance to Juggernaut it at the end of the game. It's very, very helpful. We also probably want priority for that play. Cheater. We're just swapping each other's decks, man. Who knows whose deck is who? Who knows what's happening at any point, man? We're just kind of hanging out. Silver Surfer first step seems okay. Well, we could just pull their Kraglin right, eh? Pulling their Kraglin right seems very worthwhile. They might be doing the exact same thing, for the record. Honestly, there's a decent chance they're just doing the exact same thing to me, so I'm just gonna assume that that's what's happening. No, they're pulling a Valentina. All right, that's fine. Oh no, we knew that they had our Kraglin. We knew that this was hit. So that's a really, really nice hit there. Just kill off their giant Kraglin. It's like one of the most threatening cards that they have on the field now. We just get a giant, the biggest Orca you've ever seen in your dang old life. How beautiful is that? And then, yeah, I think we just probably go like a little Orca left and then Vic Hand left. Well, I mean, it turns off our Orky boy. It does turn off our Orky boy. I cannot tell a lie there. Does turn off our Orky boy. Next turn we want a Silver Surfer. Yeah, I mean, let's just turn it off. It's fine. I mean, the Juggernaut right is going to be so soul crushing. Hopefully, I mean, they have double Quinjet. They only have 2 cards to play though, depending if they got like a Coulson or something like that. Okay, they got a Crystal, which does allow them to play 3 cards sometimes. Not always. I don't mind the Juggernaut. Juggernaut's still probably worthwhile. And then, I guess we just go Silver Surfer first steps. I don't think it'll matter too terribly much, but if they can only play 2 cards this turn, we should... No, we should play this left then, right? Because we want to... if this Juggernaut works, then we want to win left. And then we could repeat Orcas on reveal type situation, perchance. They do get an extra card, man. If they had our Juggernaut, we would be very sad here. If they were able to find our Juggernaut, we would be very sad. I think it's an exact tie. No, the Gambit, unless it hits like the Kraglin. Hit the Kraglin, hit the Kraglin, hit this. Yes! Exact tie. Exact tie! Even Stevens, man. We love a good exact tie. Very well played to Splat. Thank you so much for playing. GG's to you and yours. And I think that's going to take us to the end of the dang old video. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Play the dang song. Say a Binks. 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 I hope you like the vibe. Binks. Binks. Like and subscribe. Binks. Binks. I hope you like the vibe. Binks. Binks. Like and subscribe.